basically we are discussing here identification of ion. Okay, so before talking about identification of ions, we need to know what we are dealing with. Like, actually we are talking about salt. Salt basically is made up of two things, cation and anion. Cation is a positive ion and anion is a negative ion. This cation is identified by reagents, two reagents. One is known as sodium hydroxide, aqueous, and other one is, for confirmation, we use aqueous ammonia. So these are called reagents. And for anion, we have different anion and we have multiple different reagent. For different anion, we have a different reagent. For example, for carbonate, we use dilute HCl. For nitrate, we use aluminum foil and sodium hydroxide aqueous. For sulfate, we use barium chloride and barium nitrate. For chloride, we use AgNO3, and here I want to tell you that we can identify iodide and bromide through AgNO3, but for iodide we can also use lead, nitrate. So all keys are given. So this is the small introduction about a reagent. For identification of ion, we use these reagent to check that these cations are present or anion present in a salt. So basically we are provided with salt and we divide salt into two portions. First of all, we dissolve them and then we divide them into different portions and then we test and analyze it, and that analysis is called salt analysis. First of all, we identify cation and then we identify anion. So this is all about identification of ions. Now come to the question. You can see this question. A salt is dissolved in water. The result of two separate tests on it are shown in the table. As I already told you that you have to analyze salt, and for analyzing salt you have to dissolve it in water. And after dissolving it in water, you divide it into two portions, one test tube and another test tube containing that salt dissolved in water. And in one test tube you add aqueous ammonia and another test tube you add barium nitrate. Now observations are also given to you. A white precipitate which dissolved when an excess of aqueous ammonia is added. You get white precipitate and these white precipitate are dissolved. As you know, when ammonia is added and you get white precipitate, you get one thing from this information, that it may be Al3 plus, it may be Zn2 plus, and it may be lead2 plus. But when you get this information, you add excess of ammonia to the same tube and these precipitate dissolve, that will identify zinc. Only zinc ions are dissolved in excess of ammonia. So in this way, these two options are incorrect and you are left with zinc chloride and zinc sulfate. Now come to anion. And you know that for anion you use barium nitrate for testing sulfate ion, and if sulfate ion is present you get white precipitate. So you get your answer, that is zinc sulfate.